and I wake up and I just feel like I'm home. Everything is very clear, like, oh, okay, I'm here, good, I'm home. And it was just love, unconditional love, and colors and lights and a warmth, joy.
Yes, Jeanette, thank you so much for being here today. So you had a pretty incredible near-death experience following a car crash when you were 22 years old. So yeah, please tell us all about it.
Yeah. It was me and my sister. We were going cross country. It was in the middle of the summer, and we were going on a holiday. So it was a Friday, and it was a 5-hour drive, and we only came halfway. And there we had a head-on with another car because we were pushed by a lorry truck out into the other lane and had a head-on with another car. And we were swung out off the road, and because of the lorry, I had protected myself. So the belt was in the wrong place, so it pushed everything that I had in the stomach underneath my heart, and so my diaphragm was ripped apart, and my lungs was punctured, and my spleen was actually in my left shoulder, and I had a vertebrae in my spine broken and crushed, and also my right shoulder was off. So, and a lot of other stuff, of course, but that was like the big thing that happened. And I knew, as we stood still, I knew that something was terribly wrong, and I knew I was dying. I couldn't breathe, and I was so afraid. I was screaming out that I'm dying, and also that I want to go home. It says in the reports when the police came, I was shouting like, I want to go home, I want to go home. So what happened was the pain was so severe in my body. It was just screaming everywhere, and I released my body, you could say, and I ended up above the car where I could see everything happening. So I could see the scene happening. Like I saw, it was like watching a movie. I was very detached from my body, couldn't even understand it was me in the car. I didn't see the body or anything. I just saw the car, and I saw everybody stopping and the chaos around. But I was very detached. And then I got sucked down in my body again, and I was back in the pain and the death anxiety that I had. And I was so afraid. I was very afraid. I remember that feeling of dying, and that I didn't want to die, and my body was really, really struggling to keep me there. And what happened was that I heard this voice that just and the voice was from inside but around me, it just told me to let go. I got you. And I trusted this voice, so I just let go. And in an instant I woke up in something that I call a waiting room. That's the best description that I have, because it felt like a waiting room. Everything was just white, and everything is just pure light, pure energy. So my brain wants to say that I saw because it makes up pictures in my mind. But when I close my eyes and I go back there, everything is just energy. So I see everything is energy, and it's a knowingness there. And I wake up and I just feel like I'm home. Everything is very clear, like, oh, okay, I'm here, good, I'm home. And it was just love, unconditional love, and colors and lights and a warmth, joy. And also I met 3 energies there. So the first one that greeted me there was my godmother, and she passed away from breast cancer 10 years earlier when I was 12 years old. And she was the first to greet me there. And also two big energies was behind her. In the beginning, I would call them angels because that is how I would describe them in the beginning. Pure light beings. And I wasn't allowed to go beyond this room, you could say. But behind the light beings was also even bigger light. I saw it like a pillar of light, like a big pillar of light. But I wasn't allowed to go in there or go beyond that. And they greeted me, and it was pure love. But they also started to talk to me and say that this is just a part of my journey, and I'm supposed to go back to my body to heal it. And at first I didn't even know I had a body. I didn't know what happened, the crash or anything. And I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. I decided straight away I'm staying here. And they said like, no, it's this is like, yeah, you have this is something that you took on, and you should go back. And what happened then was that I heard everybody praying for me. And I try to be a bit linear, but it feels like everything is just happening at the same time. Like it's no time spectrum. So, but what I just hear everybody praying to me. So I heard my mom, I heard my dad, I heard my sister, I heard my friends. And this probably here happened at different times, but I heard them at the same time. Everybody that called me to come back and to be strong, and I heard them. And I understood that I'm very loved, and people want me to come back. And they also showed me my life. So I got a life review from when I was born when I was in my mother's womb until I die the next time. So I have seen my future as well, and I saw my children. And what they really showed me was they first showed me my vibration here on Earth plane. So I describe it as when you throw a rock into the water and it ripples out. So I was a part of this energy that rippled out. So I was a universe rippling out, and then I met other universes rippling out, and when our energy clashed, it created new things. So it was like a creating process. And then I was shown my husband's energy and how we clashed together, and we created new universes of right. and ripples. But it created, like, so I saw our children that also started to ripple out their energies out to the world, like the evolution thing. And then they showed me what would happen if I chose not to go back and fulfill this contract that I have with them. So they took my children away. So if you look at it in a water plane, I could just see how they just got sucked, and the water just got still, and then it came a lot of other ripples that took over. So I understand I'm very, very important. My ripples are very, very important, but it's also nothing. So it's all and it's nothing. Like, it was a very weird feeling. And I still have it with me. Like, I'm all and I'm nothing. Like, I decide. I decide if I'm going to be all or I'm not going to be nothing. So I saw that they erased my babies, and then they erased my vibration. And then I decided to go back, because I'm like, okay, this is not just about me. It's about the future and the evolution and the things that I took on. And also that I heard everybody that wanted me to come back. And so I decided, because this was purely my choice. They told me this is my choice to go back or not. And then I said, like, okay, I'm going to go back. And they had to help me back into my body. And that process of going back here, I found that process to be very, very hard and challenging. And I can actually, I can compare it with the feeling of when I was sitting in the car, dying from my body, until like when I was going back to my body, like a transformation phase. Because it felt like I was squashed together and it's getting darker. And I was like kind of ripped apart, you know, leaving this beautiful feeling of just knowingness and being a part of everything. And so it was like ripped apart and squashed together into like a density that felt really, really dark. And also, I heard in this process of going back here, I have these memories of like creatures, I don't know, like, but laughing at me, like kind of mocking me, and going through this dark tunnel thing almost. And then I woke up in my body again, and I was in hospital. So this happened on Friday. And I'm so grateful for all my earth angels that, you know, in the hospital, we were just 5 minutes from the hospital where it happened.
Oh, wow.
And nobody had went home on Friday. It was before 4:00. So all the staff was there. No one left, you know. And so the team was ready for us when we came in. And so all of these small things just made that I didn't bleed to death. And we were stuck in the car for 45 minutes when they tried to get us out, because they had to cut off the roof and, you know, stuff like that. And I was very disorientated as well. And I had a lot of morphine and stuff like that. But my feeling of it is like I couldn't really understand what was happening. And I could move my consciousness in my body. And I had this voice with me of one of the energies that I met. I heard it very, very clearly in me. And we were moving energy in the body. So the healing process went really, really quickly. And all the doctors has also said that it's like amazing how quick it actually worked, because they thought I was going to be in the respirator for almost a week, because they filled me with water so all the organs could float and have no pressure on. And both of my lungs was punctured, and my diaphragm was ripped apart. But on Sunday, I started to breathe against the machine, as when the sleeping medication wasn't that high, I started like breathing against it. And they didn't want me to be on the respirator for a long time. They want you to start using your muscles and don't forget like how to breathe yourself and stuff like that. So they said like, okay, we could try to take her off. And my mom was sitting beside me the whole time. So when I didn't take a breath, she just squeezed my hand and told me to breathe. And then I did. So they actually took me off the respirator late on Sunday. And this happened on Friday. And they were really amazed that that they could do that, because the damages. And then they moved me on Monday. They moved me to a hospital closer to where I lived, because we were away in the country. And so they took like a bus with all the things and moved me there. And I was in intensive care. And that is actually when I have my first memories in my body, like woken up. And I couldn't see them because I had glasses on, so it ripped my eyelids off. So they had to sew them on, and I was like, my vision when they took that off, I was seeing double, and ooh. But so that was it, when I have my first like memory from my body, like someone talking to me, is when I am in the bus. And they say that, do you know what day it is? And I'm like, yeah, it's Friday, because it was like time didn't exist during this time. It's like, no, it's Monday and you've been in a car crash and we're on our way to a hospital. And I remember like, what, have I been in the woods? Where have I been for 3 days? Like, like totally gone. And then I was in intensive care for 1.5 weeks. And then I could come out and go to another ward where it wasn't like life-threatening anymore. But everything, they thought they had to open me to like 1 or 2 times more because of all the damage that I had. But they didn't have to open me again. And just a few years ago now, I just... when I had the doctor go through my journals, he saw that I had a really severe infection in my pancreas, and I almost like died from that one. But no one told me then when I was in hospital. But I remember I was really mad. I was so mad because I couldn't eat. So because the day when they left, that I could leave the intensive care, is when all my stomach worked, you know. So it was a happy day when that was shown. But what happened was that the pancreas was very angry, and then they just took all the food and drink away again. For over a whole week, I couldn't eat anything. I was so mad. I remember this. And so the healing went amazing, and as I worked with the energies, I know that is what I did with this voice. And also the thing that came with this experience is that I had afterwards I was very sensitive to energy. So when people spoke with me, I could really feel if it was like with love they spoke or with something else, like, or if someone told me something that for me wasn't true, it was disharmony, like it wasn't like resonating. And I felt that in my body. It was like very uncomfortable in the beginning. I couldn't understand it either. I couldn't understand why I almost felt sick. So when the doctors were talking to me, they would say that, oh, maybe you're not going to be able to walk again, and you're probably going to have pain your whole life, and yada, yada, yada. Had to tell me. They told me stuff that I just felt wasn't true. It wasn't true for me. So, and that hit me very, like, don't talk to me, like kind of like that. And so like I had this resonance thing with me that I couldn't understand in the beginning. And it took a while for me to actually understand it. But now it's been 20 years. So now today I can handle it pretty good. And it's one of my superpowers today.
So you still keep him. First of all, thank you for sharing, Jeanette. What a wonderful story. Wow, so much to unpack here. I'd be curious to know. So this basically you have the superpower of telling if someone is lying to you. So how does that manifest itself? Is that like a gut feeling? Is it something that you perceive?
Yeah, it's. I think everybody have this, but I was more sensitive to it, I think. But everybody have this voice inside that, you know, yeah, you could say the gut feeling or the intuition. And I just came very close to it when I passed over and came back. And for me, it's manifest like I have it like more to my heart, I think, and in my throat. So I get like disharmony. And today I can actually feel also like if you were telling me something and that it's your truth, but it's not my truth. It hits me differently. So I know the difference. So, okay, you're telling the truth, but it's not my truth. But in the beginning, it was just like all over the place. And also I could feel like, this is some bad intention. It's something that is not resonating. When you're talking, is something not, lining up here. So I feel it not in my gut. I feel it more in my heart and throat area. Yeah, it's an energy feeling that I have.
Right. If I can take a couple of steps back, you touched on a couple of, let's say, common features of NDErs, which I find really fascinating. One of them is that sense of familiarity, of a feeling at home for the first time. After people speak that they go to this place that we've never been, well, at least from this point of view, but we feel at home even more so than being in this planet. So I'd love to know, it was just kind of a download, like an instant recognition of something that we've always been, but obviously we're just not quite able to perceive from this human perspective. How does that feel when you're in that state?
Yeah, because it felt like, I was home, definitely. It was like, when you wake up from a dream and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here now. Oh, feels good to be here now. Yeah, it was just so, you just knew things. Like it was kind of instant. And also where I began and ended was very blurry. I was very a part of everything. Like, so even I had a feeling of me or I, but still as a consciousness, but still it was, no walls like it is here more. We have this beautiful body that we live in here that like separates us, actually, kind of. That didn't exist there. So for me, it was absolutely coming home. And as I said, I met my godmother, and she was very, very familiar to me, as an energy as well. And we're like, yeah. Nice. But I wasn't allowed to go beyond. So I was just allowed to stay in this room. Yeah, but I was ready to go.
I was going to, so let's talk about this waiting room, because again, another common feature is they call it, Raymond Moody calls it the border. So there's the sense that, and you mentioned it, there's a waiting room. There was this light, the pillar of light on the other side that I was not allowed to get into. But you also said that you had free will. So you were given kind of the option to say, okay, do you want to stay? In which case we will show you what that means. We'll not have kids. There will be less ripples in this universe. Or do you want to come back? In which case, this is the path that you're going to be taking. So did you have that feeling that there was this border from which there was no turning back?
I absolutely feel that because I was not allowed to, and I was very ready to just go. Like, let's not stay here, let's go. So I was ready to go, but I wasn't allowed until we had to talk. We had to have a talk.
Yeah. Well, glad you're back.
Yeah, me too. I'm very happy for that. So, but it was so clear to me when I'm like, it was just like, yeah, like there was no, it was not weird at all. I was just like, yeah, I'm home. Yeah, that feeling, exactly as you said, I'm home.
Are you able to feel at home in this current human experience at all? Now that you've had, you could a taste, if you like, of what it feels like to really be at home from the other side.
Yeah, because even if I could just get like glimpses of this feeling that I had there, because I experienced that here as well through my body. But it's hard to stay in it. Like, you can't stay in it for very long. It's too much energy, I would say. It's too much energy to hold here in a way. But what they also showed me is that I am important and I am unique. And this unique vibration from this body, this unique body, that this life that I live this time, it's never coming back again. So and what I do with it, I am a creator. They showed me that I'm co-creating this, and we all are. So we are equally important, and there's no one else that can take your energy, and there's no one else that can take my energy. And also my soul evolving from this, it's it's a gift. And I really feel that is a gift, because I'm not afraid of dying today. Like I am like 100% sure that is going to be a ride. So, but I don't want to die, because I have so much. I want to leave here when I'm done, when I feel like I'm done. And I have lived everything because that is what I got. Like, you should live, and you should create, and you should send out your authentic vibration, because that is also what I feel is the message that I got. Like, you have to be authentic, be you, because no one else can be you, and you have a part to play. And together we are great, so I can't be everything, and you can't be everything, but together we are everything.
Nice. So, okay, I'd be curious to know, so before your experience, what was your view on the life after death?
I didn't have one, I think. When we in Sweden, we're a very secular country. We weren't spiritual, or we weren't Christian, but Sweden is a Christian country from the beginning. But we have our traditions, but I wasn't brought up in anything like that. So I didn't think I could die. I think I was just 22 living and didn't know anything about it, and just, I always had a good intuition. I think I have always been, and my mom has always listen to your gut feeling. And she's always been like, oh, if you go into an elevator and you feel like something off, get out, she's always been telling me to listen to my gut feeling. So I have always done that, but nothing, I had no belief of anything before, I was also very, I was very young and didn't think I could die, I think. Yeah. And my mom said that after the car crash, it was like I were like this bunny that you turn in the back, and I just took off. Like, I have to live. Yeah. I have to live, because I could die. So I wanted to just live. So I didn't stand still. I still don't.
That's great. That's what we're here for. Brilliant. Let's talk about the integration, because I think a misconception is that often people, they assume that when you have an experience like that, you come out instantly transformed. But, PMH Atwood, she mentions that on average it takes about 7 years to integrate, to make sense, to incarnate an experience like that in your daily lives. So I'd love to know, how was your process of integration?
So it was very hard in the beginning, also because I got this vibration thing that I said in the beginning, and that is, and I started running from it. That is what I did. Okay. Because because I got a big team around me of doctors and psychologists and trauma psychologists. I got a priest. I got a lot of people around me that were supposed to try to help me. And what I felt when I tried to talk about this experience that I had no idea what it was. And Google didn't exist, so I couldn't just Google, And in Sweden, there was kind of no books about it or anything. I didn't even know I never heard the term near-death experience or anything. So I was very alone. And the doctors were just, when I tried to tell them about it, what happened to me, I felt they were just like, no, you were heavily medicated, like your brain made this up. And it felt like they stepped on something that was very, very holy to me. Like it was, so I very early on understood that I can't talk to everybody about this. Yeah. And also I tried to talk to a friend about it, and she started crying, and she's like, no, I don't want to know. And I'm like, okay. So, and I told my mom that I met angels and that I met my godmother and she has always believed me, but she has no explanation or anything. Like, it's not that she's going deep into that or had any help to give me, but she believed me though. But what happened was, and as you said, like 7 years, it took me about 5 years to actually start. And I started looking for the answers myself. So I started searching. And that is when I ended up more and more about like the spiritual community more, I went to, healing groups, and I mediums and stuff like that, because I needed to understand what happened to me, even if I felt like also sometimes when I stepped in those kind of rooms, it didn't resonate with me either. So I just had to find this. I tried to follow the resonance, and it was like actually when I met my husband that I just stopped running, I think, because then I understood, okay, I have to try to explain this in words that don't even exist. But like I had to try to, okay, I have to stop running from it and hide it. I need to try to make sense and also try to explain myself. And I met him when I was 27, so it was 5 years after. And that is, I think, when I tried to really put words on the experience, that I felt safe to do it. And that is something that I feel when I work with this also now, that you need a room where you just feel safe enough to share it, and where you don't get judged. Because it felt like when I shared it with someone and they would say like, well, no, you probably dreamt that and stuff like that, it felt like they would say, oh, you're lying. And I just like, oh, I can't share this, like it's mine, and you can't walk around here with dirty boots and make it unclean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the integration took a long time, and I tried to, and when I found the book, it's like maybe 10 years ago now, when I found the book Proof of Heaven from Eben Alexander, that was really like coming home again. And I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. And, internet started, so then I found a lot more people. And I'm like, oh, okay, that resonated.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jeanette. I'd be curious to know, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from your NDE?
Yeah, the biggest lesson that I got is what I took back is, this resonance, like this voice that I hear that guides me, and I trust it. I really, really trust it. And also that our vibration is very unique, and we should be unique and authentic, and that we are important. If we choose to be important, we are. But also the choice is ours. We are creators, and we are a part of this. So we are a part of this creation and creating. So that is really, really important, I think. And live. To live.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well put. Why do you think we are here on Earth?
Oh, evolution. I think, and this is so. It's also so much fun to live, even when it's very hard when we're in the hardship. It's very hard to see it, because I understand today, 20 years after, I can sit here and say that my NDE was the biggest gift ever for me. But when I was in it, when I was like healing after the car crash, and I was so angry, I was so sad, it was so much pain, it took the healing of, and trying to make sense of it. It's not until we come out from the hardship that we understand, and we could make it medicine. But I think life is happening for us, and if we could have a possibility of this is for me in some way, this is for me, and I just need to find the gold in the darkness to take it out. So that is, I think, we learned so much from being here, and we are explorers, and having a beautiful body and all these senses that comes with our body, because that is nothing that I felt on the other side. I didn't feel like the sensation of, feeling or taste and stuff like that. So even if we could say it's hard sometimes to be alive, it's also a very cool feeling, I think, that we actually could feel all the feelings that we do. And we learn so much, even in the dark. We learn.
Well, sometimes, especially in the dark. I think you raised a very valid point. I think in this process, we all have to go through some very tough lessons in this life, and as we live them, they're not fun, absolutely, and it's only in hindsight, after you go through the process, that you realize that perhaps only some lessons can be learned through those, big experiences. And sometimes we have to trust the process and give time for things to even out, to start to make sense. But I understand that once we have to go through them, it can be very painful. But unfortunately, it's inevitable. So yeah, all part of the process.
Yeah,
I'd be
for sure.
Curious to know, what's your idea of God these days?
God is a life force, I think. God is all there is. All there is for me. God is everything. And we are a part of God, and we are creators, and we are allowed to use that force.
It's here to support us, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeanette, thank you so much. I have one last question for you. What's the meaning of life?
Yeah, that would be to live in this beautiful, crazy world also, and take care of ourselves, and be authentic, create with all that you are, create all that you can, and learn. So I would say live. We are here to live, and it's just, for me, it's just like a blink of an eye. That quick, and we will be back home, and take all the lessons from it, and we will grow. So expansion.
Yeah. Well put. Jeanette, do you have any parting message you would like to leave us with before ending this conversation today?
Yeah, no, that would just be to live and be you. No one else can be you, and no one else can be me. So just be the part that the puzzle that you are, and try to find the gold in the hardships and bring it out, because then it's medicine, and you could give it to the world. So you are important. I am important, and we will create, and together we could create something better than before, I believe.
Absolutely. So, likewise, if I'm in full agreement with that. Jeanette, thank you so much again. Wish you all the best, and yes, bye for now.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Oh, hi there. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to support the IANDS community, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and maybe share with the ones you love. If you're looking for another video to watch, I think this could be a very good one. New episodes out every Friday, and until then, enjoy the stream we all call life, and live the love you wish to see in the world. Bye for now.